Hi, my name is Farhana Cannon, and I'm a global brand marketing strategist and the founder of iMedia Exposure. I love working with brands that are heart-centered and that really want to connect with their target audience and create memorable experiences. Today, I'm going to share with you how to establish brand culture, connection, and community within your marketing funnel. But first, let's be sure to connect. Here is a QR code to follow me on Instagram. And since we are talking all about building brand connection, be sure to drop me a DM so that I know that you are on here today and we can further connect and possibly collaborate on future projects. I've spoken all over the world. I've worked with different brands such as the Board of Tourism for Barbados and small startups, as well as products, services, B2B and B2C. All of the content that I'm going to be sharing is applicable to kind of any of those brands. And I use the word brand a lot. And I really love what Seth Godin says a brand is. So he says a brand is a set of expectations, memories, stories, and relationships that taken together account for a consumer's decision to choose one product or service over another. So I want you to take a second and think about, what brands do you shop from consistently? So I'm an Apple user, Nike, Lululemon, Aloe, Whole Foods. And within all of those experiences, I know what I'm going to get from those products. I know exactly what I'm going to get from the customer experience when I'm interacting with people that are selling me those products, whether it be on their website or in their stores. I know what to expect from the quality. So when you think about your brand, think about those expectations and that those emotions that you want to evoke and that you want people to know about your brand. And you want to make sure that's consistent. People know that they're going to get that consistency throughout your whole product cycle. When you're thinking about your brand, it really is all about the narrative. And the narrative is something that we are going to consciously create. We want to make sure that we are intentional when we're setting what our brand vision is, our mission, our brand values, and the relationship that we want to create. We want to think of this as the brand behavior and how we connect with our target demographic at every step of the way. Nowadays, people really want to make sure that they're aligned with the brand values of a company that they're purchasing from. Back in the day, it may not have been as important, but now when we see brands and we're like, oh, wow, they really get me, or they're interested or concerned about the same things. I don't know about you, but if I find a brand that is, you know, socially conscious, eco-friendly, they give back to the community, that puts them apart in my book. And I want to do business with them and I want to buy from them rather than somebody that's doing the exact same thing that may not have that aspect. So you want to think about what your values are in your brand and how you're going to share that in a consistent way, not in a braggy, hey, I'm doing this thing, but in a commitment, I stand for this, and this is how we can connect as humans. You also want to make sure that you really understand your target demographic and what they need. Who are they? Where do they hang out? What is their buying potential? So check out your analytics and really figure out what kinds of content, what kinds of products and services are they really interested in. And then as you progress, you may want to create more of a product and service offering or a seasonal options that work because you're really listening to what your customers want and what their feedback is. You also want to make sure you're meeting them where they are and you know who they are and what their interests are. So you don't have to consistently be like, hey, here's my products and service, buy this, buy this, buy this. It's like, hey, we're connected by the fact that we have the same likes and interests, and we are on the same wavelength. We care about the same social conscious types of things. We have the same vibe. we think the same humor is funny. Your content should be engaging when you're sharing about your products and services. So you want to make sure that you have a tone that is going to really connect with your customer. So if you are that really corporate-y type of brand, you may want to on social media tone that down a little bit, but still keep that corporate, buttoned up kind of vibe. But if you are that like spiritual, let's connect on a heart-centered based type of thing, you want to also really connect that way too. And knowing your customer is really important so that you can set that tone, set that voice, and really be authentic. You don't want to go from really corporate to like really hippie to really, um, you know, trendy to really humorous. You want to you can be all of those things, but take it at a certain tone. So really set what that tone is and really figure out how you can connect. Then, when you are creating your whole target marketing process, you want to segment the market. So, I have products and services such as my courses that are for the people that are going to be doing it themselves, or the beginners that may not be able to afford a marketing agency to support them in a done for you capacity, but they really want to learn. So, I'm going to segment that target. My voice and my tone is going to be exactly the same, but what the products and services are that I'm creating for that target demographic is going to be a little bit different. The journey that I'm going to take them on is going to be a little bit different. Whereas, the larger companies that just want an agency to kind of take things off of their plate and manage everything for them, or with their marketing teams, that's going to be a different positioning of different products and services. So when you're thinking about your products and services, I want you to, and your different target demographics, create a different funnel process for each one of those markets. So, I like to be really specific with my personas, my target demographics. I give them names like Sally, Clarice, Margaret, whatever they may be. And you want to take them on a journey. So when you create this whole positioning, think of who that person is, where you're going to take them, and the upsells and downsells that you're going to have for that specific market. And then when you're creating content targeting that person, it will be very clear and different for the different services and products that you're offering. So we are going to talk about your brand. So your brand is, that image, what people are going to expect, how they're going to feel. Then that kind of interlaps into that experience. So how are we going to really have people understand the brand, have the core values really resonate, have them remember, maybe it's events through these experiential marketing types of tools, and then you're going to have your products and services, what that is, and then your value proposition. So taking all of those different layers, and then what makes you different. There's tons of people that are doing the exact same thing, and you want to really figure out what your value proposition is and how do you directly portray that to your target demographic, and how do you connect with them on the same wavelength of something that they really understand, and connect to them on a personal level. With social media, we want to be social, with online events or live events. There, it gives us a great opportunity to really connect to people in a whole different way than traditional marketing when it was radio, print, and TV. We get to really create an experience and be interactive and listen to people and understand what they want in real time. Another key important thing about your brand is what the design aspects are. So 94% of studies show that first impressions are design related. You have about 3 seconds for people to open up your social media or your website and make a decision if they're going to actually stay on there and do more research or shop further. Just think about the times that you've gone on to somebody's social media or onto their website and you're like, I have no idea what they're about, or they don't get me, or this design is just, not it. So you want to be really specific in targeting your demographic. You want to really make sure that you're connecting who you are authentically with your target audience, with the right colors, because colors evoke emotion, with the right design elements. Think about going into an art museum. You can look at an image and it creates a whole flood of emotions and stories. And that's the same with any of the graphics that you create for your business. So here is one of the brands that we work with. And as you see here, this is their social media. It doesn't really evoke that much of an emotion. There's different colors, and it doesn't have much of a vibe. So we revamped this. We created a mood board. I highly suggest creating mood boards for different seasons, or creating a brand board and really using that to guide the direction. So a brand board would have your company colors on it, as well as images that showcase the aesthetics of the brand. In your social media, you don't always have to use just the colors of your brand. However, on a mood board, you can create different colors for different seasons. So this was a mood board that we created for the end of the year holiday, so Christmas season, and the brand does use red, and of course for Christmas, traditionally red is used as well. But we wanted to make sure that we kind of created this sophisticated and sultry and elegant packaging and shoots. So as you see here, you see very high fashion. So this product is sold in luxury spas, and their target demographic is generally women in their 30s and 40s, and they really wanted to have kind of that up-leveled experience. And so when we reach out to high-end spas, they come to the pages and they're like, okay, cool. They understand who our demographic is. This is the right fit for our brand. Here is another CBD company, but completely a different vibe. So they wanted to be more organic, more family friendly, not so female skewed. They wanted it to just be in everyone's cabinet at their homes, and they wanted to make sure that people knew it was THC free, so that it could be used for the whole family. So that was really important for them. And they had more of an organic, natural vibe. So you see similar product lines, but very different target audience, very different graphics that we used here. When you're thinking about creating your digital marketing funnel, you want to kind of break down how you're going to connect. So we like to see the top of the funnel with online ads and storytelling posts and short videos. At the awareness stage of the funnel, some of the types of content that work really good for lead generation and ad campaigns are micro-learning, product teasers, user-generated content, influencer ads, and behind-the-scenes content. I'll show you some examples of this in a sec. You want to make sure that you're also utilizing calls to action. So when you go into the consideration portion, with these online ads and storytelling posts, use a call to action so that people actually may want to consider. So you give them a little bit more information, and then you take them possibly to your website. By going into the conversion section, your lead magnet will take them to your landing page, to your website, to your free courses or events. And then from there, people get to know a little bit more. You then capture their data. So if they sign up for your lead magnet or your course or your event, you now have their email, phone number, and their name. And I highly suggest getting people's phone numbers because a higher percentage of people open up their texts than their emails. So you have a higher chance of converting them, sending out automated texts as well as emails. And from those, offers, you're going to then offer a sale opportunity. Then you'll have their information so you can put them into a drip campaign and upsell and downsell depending upon what actions they take. I really love setting up drip campaigns because let's face it, our sales teams are, just us in general, we're never going to really remember to get back to everyone in the right amount of time. So when you have a hot, fresh lead, if you wait too long, that lead disappears. You want to make sure that you're following up with them right away and then keeping them in a drip campaign. And then if they don't jump on an offer, then putting them into your monthly newsletter so that they're not getting a series anymore, but then they're getting monthly connections with you so you stay top of mind. You also, for advocacy, you want to create content and viral content and work with influencers so that you can really build your brand exposure. You have brand advocates and you now have repeat customers because you gamify the whole interaction of the brand. So let's take a look at a couple of examples of who is really connecting with their community and really building their brands. Now let's talk brands that are really great at connecting with their community. I love Lululemon, this athletic wear company many of you may know. They have a membership to give early access to items as well as access to their app, to their virtual sessions. They want you to know about their sustainability and their social impact and diversity and inclusion. So their social impact, they do programs that give back to different communities. They also work with brand ambassadors in which they focus on the local community and feature their trainers. They also make them brand ambassadors with photo shoots so that they can share on their social media. They get discounts and things like that. So a lot of the people that they show, some of it is user generated, some are brand ambassadors that are just everyday fitness trainers in local communities. They also feature lots of different activities at different shops all around the country or around the world, actually. And now, they're showcasing pride and things that they care about. Aloe is another brand that uses user-generated content. It is an activewear company. They go a little bit different. They're more into yoga rather than all of the athletic wear, and they focus on sharing different poses, different movements, and they have different color drops. So every season there is a new color, and if you are a member, you get access to this. They gamify it where you get points and you can win free things. You get access to those early colors. You get a birthday gift. You get member only sales, free 2-day shipping, VIP events and classes. So they give you a super ton so that you want to be a member, you want to get points, you want to stay on there. Another great way to connect with the community is to believe in a social cause and put it front center. I love what Maison Palo Santo does here. They say buy a candle and plant a tree. She is really into breath work and having these sacred journeys and being eco-conscious. You can also buy her candles. This is her social media. So she shows some of her press where she's featured some of her products, as well as her Palo Santo Sacred Journeys. So she does a lot of events and community collaborations. Another great brand is Always. They are, of course, a feminine hygiene product, but they really want to focus on the community. So here you see their national scholarship. You see what you do at these different life stages, your first period, the talk, pregnancy, and a sensitive bladder. So they take you through the life stages. They give you some tips and tutorials, so learning so that you consider the brand and you utilize this as a resource. They also give you a period calculator, and then they get to the sales If we look at their social media, they focus on sharing stories about heroes in their community, as well as different community action things that they're giving back, different fun things about the products and services. And then they really want to talk about self-care and different things to really connect with what women are going through. So these are some great examples of brands and how they're connecting with the community and sharing interesting things rather than just talking about buying their product. There are 4 segments of the customer journey. So we discussed a little bit of these when we were going over the different brands. So in that awareness component, we have events. So maybe you partner with people on events, maybe you do your own and you do ad campaigns to get people there, or you have your pre-existing clients share with their friends and family and have them come in. Working with influencers is a great way for you to get fresh eyes on your products and services. If you aren't doing ads and you are not doing influencer campaigns on social media, using the right hashtags and songs and geolocations can help you get new eyes on you, but it's not going to be at the higher rate of influencer engagement or ad campaigns where you're really targeting specific new people to your pages. Blog posts are great too for your website to build traffic and SEO to get people and get that awareness there. So then after we get that awareness, so now we want to really have people take consideration and purchase. So how do we get their email and text, and how do we create automation? So that's where you want to create those freebie offers, doing demos, or creating an opportunity for people to be able to book inquiries or discovery calls with you. Once you kind of give people a little bit more and you've gathered some data, then you want to go into that conversion part where you allow them to book online or give them upsells or trainings, or just incorporate them into your sales flow, create packages, bonuses. And then for that loyalty, how do we have them become repeat customers? So that really is about that client retention. So Ala does it great with that membership. Like, you get points, they gamify it. Starbucks does that as well. People love, taking out their app and paying with their app and getting those points, getting their free offers and things like that. People love promotions too. So if you're the first one to get a product drop or get access to something, or get discounts because you're a part of that brand's list, that is very exciting for people. If you have automated upsells as well. So if I purchase something and you want me to put something else in my cart, giving me the opportunity in the next stage in that sales process to be like, hey, do you want this too? Or here's some suggestions. Even when you're purchasing pants, maybe they give you an option for a top. And then you're like, oh yeah, that's kind of cute. And you throw it in your cart really quickly. Loyalty programs we discussed with the point system, or and events are really great. Like, I love VIP events. I love getting people together. When people have experiences with your brand, it gives them more opportunities to think about your brand, and you stay on top of mind. Let's talk about stories. So people quickly move through stories, and that can help drive conversations as well as engagement with your posts. So one hack is for your stories to go out around the same time that you post on your feed, and then asking for people to engage with your stories by having them, do emojis or use that heart slider or put polls or quizzes, add links, add a question and answer box. Those are really great opportunities for you to engage. So let's show an example of that. So let's take a quick look at Ananda Soul Creations. I really love this brand because she really resonates with people that are connected to moon cycles and high vibrations and this whole like soul living type things using elements and stones and stuff like that. So here, did you ever wonder what phase of the moon you were born in? So she has the waning crescent. She shows pieces that she uses that. And then she has quizzes, and then she shows some pieces. So let's just go take a look at this. This is a link, so you can use links on your stories too. And then you can actually go in here and put in your information. Then she has a pop-up, get $15 off your first order. Once you put in your moon sign, it tells you what it is. And then she tells you what this moon is for, and then gives you some options of different pieces that she has that make sense for that. So it makes you feel more connected to the pieces because it's your birth date. So it has more of a correlation, it has more impact on there. Now let's talk customer engagement strategy. There is 2 ways to create engagement. So one is by creating content that it requires people to take action, whether it be asking questions, using those polls, having people sign up for something. So sending out those links on those stories for people to sign up for the moon, to figure out what moon they were born in, is a way to get people to leave social media and go onto a website and get a little bit more information and have them connect with your brand on a more personal level to foster sales. Another way to engage is to go and find your target demographic on social media. So you can look up hashtags, you can look up brands that would have like-minded target demographic, hashtags, locations, things like that, and go start having conversations. You can do that on Instagram, not so much on Facebook, but on Instagram and Twitter. You can, and TikTok, you can have conversations with people that are your target demographic. Go like their posts, comment on their posts, start building those relationships with them. The more that you do that, the more people will feel like, oh, this person is really my friend. This person really cares about me. Or they're like, oh, who is this person? Let me check out who they are and see if they resonate. If people don't respond within 1 or 2 or 3 times, probably your brand doesn't resonate with them. So don't push it further than that. And don't be too spammy where it's like, oh, go and buy me. Really create authentic conversations with people and have them respond before you actually present them with an offer, even if it's a freebie. Now let's talk Reels. You can use stock imagery or stock videos for your Reels, use trending songs, give tips, and tell people to save your posts. Those are great ways to get engagement on your Reels. Another way that you want to utilize Reels is actually sharing the experience of your services and products. You can show before and afters, showcase your team. People look at your social media and they really want to understand what it's like to work with you, what the experience is going to be, what it's like inside of your business. If you have a brick and mortar, they really want to know what it's going to be like when they go there. People want to know all of the information. They don't want any uncertainty. And brands that aren't clear about who they are, what they do, what they offer, what their benefits are, people are less hesitant to take action. There's so many brands that are sharing it all. You want to be on brand with them. You also want to show and capture your vibe. So here we created a event. So this is building community. We created monthly drag brunches. They were bubbly teas. So essentially we had teapots full of cocktails, and it was a brunch. And so people knew we would sell tickets monthly for these brunches, and people would be waiting to get into the next brunch. So we created a whole community vibe from that. And people had this experience of the brand in this way, which was fun. Creating an experiential marketing event where people are going to remember your brand is awesome. Think about the Veuve Clicquot Polo Classic. It is a whole vibe. People take so many pictures. There's all of these Instagrammable moments, and they even have a sign to go to their photo moments. It's a whole vibe, and people talk about it and share about it for months before and after. So this is a great way to build community and build brand awareness. I love events, whether they are live or virtual. So some key takeaways that I want you to get is craft a compelling brand story that captivates your audience. Really be clear about what your vision is, what your mission is, and what your social causes is. Really establish meaningful connections through effective branding and messaging and building your community. Leverage social media platforms to foster engagement and interaction, and create a funnel that attracts and converts your ideal customer. Make sure to showcase who your brand is and really connect heart to heart with your community. People want authenticity. They want to see real connection, and quite frankly, people want to buy from people that they like and not be like force-fed sales. Thank you so much for listening in on this presentation, and I hope that you found this information useful. I'd love to connect with you and take a look at your brand strategy and see what we can do to improve and really connect with your community. I'd also love to find some amazing people to interview for my podcast, The Brand Boutique Elite. So be sure to set up a call by using this QR code right here.